Hi, FB family and friends, and my kids are going to turn down that TV so I can do my show today. You can tell I'm the pajama mama because you got to have kids in order to have a great show. And in a nutshell today, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do is share with you some great information on how you can establish yourself as an authority and get your brand out there where somebody want to know more about you. It's a lot of tricks of the trade, but I'm going to share with you the best ones that have made me hundreds of thousands of dollars and even millions of dollars, and we're kind of using some now to bring in more. So first, I want to share with you first, hi, I'm Ilan Bomani, known as the Pajama Mama. I will admit I'm not wearing my PJs right now. I'm going to go work out at the gym. We know we got to multitask, but the thing that I want to share with you today as a Pajama Mama, my slogan: help moms and dads fire the boss and hire their kids. And what we do is interview typical dads and mompreneurs who are making it into 6 to 7 figures and allowing them to be able to be mompreneurs and dadpreneurs like you want to be. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin the show today. And while I'm beginning the show today, one of the things that I'm going to hit home to is, certain things that you should focus on when you are establishing yourself in the market. You gotta set yourself apart from the rest and be better than the best. And how do you do that is, number one, establishing your brand. Your brand is who and what you are. Everybody knows Kraft macaroni and cheese. Now everybody makes macaroni and cheese, but if you notice, everybody says Kraft because they really branded themselves and they established themselves as an authority when it comes to cheese. Everybody knows Coca-Cola. You say Coca-Cola and you immediately think soda drink, okay? Everybody knows, let's see some familiar ones. Everybody knows Papa John's pizza, Papa John, So if you notice, these people have really honed and they branded themselves based upon what their products are all about. Xerox copier. Now, if you think about Xerox copier machine, they were the first company to come out with the copier. But if you notice, people would say to you on a Canon copier or a HP copier, give me a Xerox copy, because they established themselves at the very onset. And now everybody uses them as the model when they're talking. That's what you want to do. You want to be the first thing on people's tongues when they're talking about a particular subject, and you want to really hone and you want to really brand those type of things. So how you're able to do that? Well, it's real simple. Number one, think about, something that's going to, like I said, set yourself apart from the rest. When I established my first brand, nobody knew Ilan Bomani, but I established myself as the dynamic diva. Now, immediately, diva kind of has a negative connotation to it, kind of has, a spiritual connotation to it. So people want to know, what does she mean by that? So they're going to most likely kind of want to check, that type of, person out and see what they're all about. They could care less about who Ilan Bomani. First of all, they have difficulty spelling the name. So when I was on radio shows or when I was on TV shows, they would remember me as the dynamic diva. Easy to spell, easy to remember, okay? My book title was Dynamic Diva Dollars. Here we go. I got that dynamic diva in there for women who aren't afraid to become millionaires. What they did is allow me to establish a series. Not only did I have Dynamic Diva Dollars, but then I had Dynamic Diva Darlings, a book to help empower and inspire young women, as well as, young, female children entrepreneurs. So, what you want to do is when you build that brand, my book color was like a purple and it was like a yellow. So all the other book covers still carried on that purple and yellow. So when they went to the bookstore, they would immediately be able to identify that. When they went to my website, when I used to do TV shows, they would immediately be able to go to thedynamicdiva.com. Now that was very easy for me to be able to get that particular website because Dynamic Diva was taken and they wanted me to pay $5,000 for that. No, I just added the to it and I got it for a whopping $10. So you got to understand that some of these tips and qualities are real important. So after you just develop your name, you got to kind of give them a slogan to help facilitate that particular name and brand that you have. So with that in mind, what I did was I created the brand Dynamic Diva Dollars to help people become healthy, wealthy, and wise. People can remember healthy, wealthy, and wise. So, 3 different little titles and things of that nature, but it was inclusive as far as what I was all about. So people immediately ask themselves, do I want to become more healthy? Do I want to become more wealthy? Do I want to become more wiser about my life and living? So immediately, if they don't know what the Dynamic Diva is, the slogan pretty much gives them an idea of what you're all about. It's just like Nike. Nike was their slogan was just do it. So, pertained to like sports. It pertained to like, taking action. It pertained to like being positive and motivated, okay? And as you know now, we just look at the symbol of Nike without even seeing the name, and we know it's Nike because they established themselves an authority in when it comes to sports, athletic wear, etc. They really started out with shoes and they expanded, okay? So that's one of the things that I want you to fully understand. Now, let's talk about how I established myself in the brand of internet marketing and also, affiliate marketing and the like of social media marketing. Well, I established myself as called the Pajama Mama. Well, I'm not. I should be. Kind of like not good today that I don't have my attire on, my PJs on. But you get the drift. Immediately, people want to know, what's the Pajama Mama? Mompreneur who makes money at home in her PJs. Wow, who doesn't want to make money in their PJs? Or more importantly, make money while they're sleeping, okay? What do we do? When we go to sleep, we wear what? Our PJs. So you have to be the total complete package and image. Now, sometimes when I go to like conventions and things of that nature, I actually wear pajamas while I am there, okay? And I immediately tell people I'm the Pajama Mama. Now, once again, are people going to remember Ilan Bomani, or are they going to remember the Pajama Mama? Kind of cute, kind of quirky. It piques people's interest, and they're ready to listen more to what you have to share, okay? Also, it's really nice to have like what they would call your 30-second pitch, okay? So my 30-second pitches, what I do is I teach mom and dadpreneurs how to fire the boss and hire the kids by interviewing typical mom and dadpreneurs that are already making the 6 and 7 figures that you dream to make one day. So immediately, boom, they know what my program is all about, my show is all about, they know what I'm all about, and more importantly, they know that I have the plan and program to help them to succeed in that particular market, genre, or niche that they're interested in, okay? So now when I do TV shows, when I do radio shows, when I do print media, I immediately got the interest of the host or the writer because it's something that most people aren't doing, most people dream about doing, and more importantly, what it does is it kind of puts the fantasy out there right away. So if you can think about it, it kind of sets yourself apart from the average Joe, because basically nobody wants to be the average Joe. Matter of fact, a lot of people are already living the average Joe lifestyle. They want something different, something that's going to spark their interest, something that's going to make them want to get out there and groove. Now, with that said, I say to people, publish or perish. Now, you can either publish a book or publish a blog or publish a podcast. Now, publishing has extended significantly. So what we're getting ready to do, matter of fact, for the kidpreneurs, that's my kids, immediately when you say kid, you see preneur, you know that they are kid entrepreneurs, right? So as you know, we've got that name too, thekidpreneurs.com, thepajamamama.com. So immediately people know they can go to our websites and retrieve some free information. What better free information to give out to people than a free ebook or physical book that where you're able to get their email address as well as you're able to get their physical address, okay? You want to do both. You want to do the online attack and an offline attack. Hit them both ways and you get them. So in a nutshell, we're getting ready to come out with the Pajama Mama book, okay? That's going to teach, various strategies on how people can make money online via their PJs, as well as the kidpreneurs, teaching young adults, college students, as well as teenagers and young adults on how they can make money online. So the key thing about that is we know two things. We know that 85% of the American population wants to be an entrepreneur. They want to own their own business. So we know we have a market out there. Now we micro niche it, meaning we get it down specifically. Now we're talking about young adults who want to become entrepreneurs or doing online businesses. Boom, the kidpreneurs can follow into that facet, okay? Or we have the pajama mama, where we know young adults, they're in their 30s, 40s, years of age, that want to basically be able to stay home and take care of the kids. Dadpreneurs has skyrocketed of late. You know, dads have realized that they don't want to be in a cubicle, that they want to have control over their destiny and take care of their family. And it's kind of cool now for dads to be at home raising their family. And we got a lot of dadpreneurs that are involved with the show that, you know, come on board. And that's the main thing that they said, that major perk of why they like to be at home is the fact they get to spend more quality time with their kids, etc. So with that in mind, I gave you some awesome tips in order how to establish yourself. Find out what can set you apart. You know, come up with something, sit back and really meditate on it. Really think about it. That's going to make you different and set you apart from the average Joe or Jane and the like, okay? Also, another thing I did was, for example, one of my things I have, I'm going to do the physical aspect of it, but my logo is a caricature of myself in a, you know, superwoman, but I've got the colors of red, white, and blue. That's the American colors of the American dream is alive and well. And I want you to get your piece of the American apple pie. Hey, Natasha, how are you? Good to see you, sweetie pie. So you get a chance to do that. Hey, Damon Green, good to see you. One of my favorite dadpreneurs that are out there. Hey, Bernard, good to see you also. Hey, Silas King, good to see you. Silas King, the network marketing king, I call him. One of my favorite dadpreneurs that are out there. So with that in mind, these are the things that you really want to do. You really want to, like I said, set yourself apart from the rest. Even though you may be a part of an organization or a group, you know, why should people associate with you? Also, the best slogan to have, the best thing to do is, back to the little slogan that I have. So what I did was I created a superwoman, you know, outfit, you know, red, white, and blue, the American flag, you know, the whole bit, and I'm wearing bunny slippers, okay, to illustrate, you know, the mompreneur look. So, you know, like I said, having caricatures of yourself, you know, putting yourself out there, you know, as something unique and different, just to give people a second, because you lose people real quick when you deal with the familiar or what they're already used to getting. I think that's why Donald Trump has, you know, it's been a mixed bag. You know, they always say, you know, good publicity or bad publicity, still publicity. Well, I don't know if that's really working out for him. It's kind of just doing that as seesawing as far as his success rate. But you got to admit, he's definitely shocking people. He's definitely dealing with subjects that a lot of people are not used to responding to, answering to, committing to, etc. He's definitely going outside the box. Major gamble, you better believe it. But if you really think about it, is he got over, I think they said $3 billion with a big B of free publicity. Now, I will admit, I think that had a lot to do with white privilege. That's another conversation. But nevertheless, you got to really look at the marketing aspect of it and really take it into consideration, you know. But what I like to do, I kind of like to be safe than sorry. Whatever I do, I want it to be something that's positive. That's good. You can always shock people with positivity as much as you can shock people with negativity. I know they say often that, you know, bad news is good news. What I mean by that is that most people thrive with negative information. People will check out things that say scam or that say, you know, tragedy, you know, something that's going to really shock them, have a negative connotation attached to it. People will investigate that more than they do the positive stuff. But for the sake of argument, what I like to do is I like to always be on the positive tip whatever I have to share. The best, the top. As you notice, even in this brief, you know, intro that I did, the first thing I said was the best branding and authority tips and tricks. You know, that interests people too, because everybody wants to what? Be the best, be the top. type of thing. So try to stick with those, because I believe that positivity produces positivity, which brings in prosperity. It's always about the bottom line, and make sure we get a piece of that. So I hope people fully understand. You want to come out with an awesome brand, okay, that people can remember, some key, great, slogan, with a great deal of catchphrases, a good 30-second pitch that immediately let people know what you're all about and want to know more about what you have to share. You always want to be on a positive tip. Always positive, positive, positive. You can't lose with that. With negativity, it can go either way, okay? Because people don't like when, even though you're saying something, even though you put something out there negative and then you come back and turn around to positive, people feel as though they've been hoodwinked and bamboozled. People feel as though they've been manipulated. Even though marketing is a form of manipulation, don't throw it into people's faces, because they get embarrassed, and guess what they do? They don't patronize you, okay? So keep that in proper perspective too, okay? So I hope everybody fully appreciated what I had to share today. Are there any questions? I'd be happy to answer them for you, because I like to just give you 15 minutes of something that you can walk away with to prepare yourself for making that move as far as being a dad and mompreneur. And those dad and mompreneurs that are out there, sometimes you need to dust yourself off. You need to come up with rebranding yourself a third, a fourth, a fifth time. One thing I liked about Steve Harvey was that, he had to rebrand himself, his image often. First he was famous for being a comedian. Then he became famous for being, a TV show guy. Now he's famous for being a talk show guy and a game show guy, and a philanthropist, as far as his nonprofit organization and the like. So he's always fine-tuning, always improving, which is one of the great things. Always reinventing. That's it. That's another good word. Reinventing yourself on a consistent daily basis. And people like to see that, because what it does do, it shows growth. It shows, it shows innovation. Look at what Apple did, with the iPhone. And then you've got the iWatch. And then you've got the Mac Pro, they were heavily into computers and they expanded. Now you got iTunes, etc. So, you always want to sit back and really think about how can you tweak things. And sometimes it's not so much about coming up with something completely unique and different. It's just basically carving your niche out of it. As you can see, there's so many people who've been copied a lot of what Apple did, like Samsung and a lot of other companies, but they just added their tip to it. Now keep this in perspective. I'm holding an iPhone 6 right now. And what's interesting about Apple was that when they first came out, if you remember, I had this little teeny phone because they thought people didn't want a big, large phone. So what Samsung did, they came out with this large, nice phone that I have in my hand, that what Apple ended up copying, because they found out people really like that they can watch videos and they could do a lot more with the phone being larger. So what did they do? They got smart. They changed their game plan of action. You got to be ready to do that too. Don't get so stuck in the mud and so committed and egotistical about your way. Focus on the demand, what's out there right now, what people want, and tailor yours towards that, and take all the credit of someone else's idea, okay? So, with that in mind, if there's no questions, I want to thank everybody for being on the Pajama Mama Show, where we gave you some tips about how to brand yourself, establish yourself as an authority, and, have fun doing it. It's a lot of fun creating all these caricatures and the like. Don't take yourself too seriously, throughout the process. Be completely positive, and you'll build massive success and a wonderful following. It's all about being a following. You don't have to build a large following in order to do very well in this industry. There are a lot of people out there that are quirky, different, unique, just like you, who want to do some things, and you get a really nice fan base doing exactly that. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Pajama Mama, where we help you fire your boss and hire your kids. And more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, we will see at the top, over the top, and more importantly, one of my slogans are, we will see you at the bank. Cha-ching, ching. Bye-bye for now.